the most gracious, the most merciful. Dear student, friend, follower, you people want to learn about blank verse. You want to learn about free verse, blank verse, and colonial literature plus post-colonial literature. Today I'll be teaching you about blank verse. I'll be teaching you about what is free verse. I'll be teaching you about what is iambic pentameter and rhyming scheme. So let's see. So here blank verse mean unrhyming scheme of poetry, unrhyming kind of poetry, but follow definite metrical language or definite meters. So blank verse consists of rhymed, 5 stress. There is a 5 stress and 5 unstressed. So it follow 5 unstressed and 5 stress. So unstressed, stressed, they are total 10 syllables. So here you will find 10 syllables, which is known as iambic pentameter. Usually Shakespeare, Marlowe, and like these poets, they were writing in iambic pentameter. So let's see the definition. Blank verse consists of unrhymed 5 stress lines, properly iambic pentameter. So it follow the definite meters, but it is unrhymed. Like rhymed mean we have like this rhyming A and B and B. So there is a certain procedure to write poetry, especially. So we follow like in a sonnet A and B. So some poets, they write A B and BC like that. So they write in a quatrains, they write in sestet, they write in octaves like that. But over here you are not going to follow. It's a free rhyming without rhyming, but it follow certain meters. Meter mean iambic pentameters like that, and usually it is found in iambic pentameter. So let's see. Blank verse is a poetry written in unrhymed iambic pentameters. So unrhymed iambic pentameter means, what is unrhymed? Unrhymed mean it is without rhyme, without rhyming scheme, and then we follow iambic pentameter. What is iambic pentameters? Penta mean 5s. Okay, so penta mean 5s. So here will be 10 syllables. Here will be, how many syllables will be here? 10 syllables. So how 10 syllables? Unstressed, stress, unstressed, stress. So if I follow like this, I follow stress, unstressed, and then stress. So first syllable will be unstressed, the second will be stressed. So stress accented, unaccented, and accented. Unstressed, stress, unstressed, stress, unstressed, stress. So how will be following over here? So look, unstressed, stress, it's 1 feet. Okay, it's 1. Unstressed, stress, it's 2, it's feet 2. Then unstressed, stress, unstressed, stress, unstressed, stress. So it is equal to 10. So overall it is 10 syllables. So but feet are 5. So it will be known as penta. So it will be in iambic pentameter, but without rhyming. There is no certain rhyming A B like that. So let's see further. So iambic unstressed, stress, pentameter 5s, and end up to the 10 syllables. Category of poetry based on unrhymed line and definite meters, usually iambic pentameters. So definition: unrhymed poetry written in iambic pentameter. Each line has a 5 pair of syllables. 5 pair of syllables. So like this, unstressed, stress, it's 1 feet. It's 1. F1, unstressed, stress, F2, unstressed, stress, feet 3, unstressed, stress, feet 4, unstressed feet 5. So they are in 5 in number. So 5 feet along with having 10 syllables. Unstressed equal to 1, unstressed 2, unstressed equal to 3, unstressed 4, unstressed equal to 5. Like the sonnet blank verse came to English poetry from Italy. So same way we've got sestet and octaves. Octave mean 18 numbers and sestet means 6, and it very thing we received from the Italian poetry, Petrarch and like that. And after that white surrey they brought in English, and ultimately to Elizabethan poets like Shakespeare, and he further refined and he has added quatrains and 3 quatrains, and ultimately he added 2 couplets as well, like Shakespeare, how Shakespeare write. So before that it was poetry was sestet and octave, that was given by Petrarch or Italian sonnet. So Italian sonnet was in this formats, but later when it comes to Shakespeare made 3 quatrains. So what is the quatrains? Let me tell you. Quatrain mean 3 quatrains. 1 quatrains equal to 4 lines. Okay. So if there are 3 quatrains, they will be 12. So 2 line couplet. So further 2 it will be 4. So sonnet is equal to 4 lines, 14 lines. Sonnet is equal to 14 lines. Shakespeare just modified it, refined it. Before that it was just like a sestet and octaves. Sestet means 6 and octave means 8. So that is added up around about 14 sentences. And when we come to the English sonnets, they just modify it. How Shakespeare modified, he made 3 quatrains and 2 couplet, 2 line couplet. Tomorrow and tomorrows and tomorrow, unstressed. This is just like a blank verse. Here is an example of the blank verse. You can see if you wish. It's by Shakespeare. So what is the colonial and post-colonial literature? Colonial literature is a literature written during the colonization using the colonies as a setting. So the literature produced in the colonies and setting was just like colonized people. They were writings. It was a colonial literature. And after that, post-colonial literature in literature that express opposition to the resistance to the colonization. Before that, it was just a voice of the colonizers. And no, it is opposition to colonization. So this is a post-colonial literature, often written from the perspective of the colonizers. But here is perspective of the colonized nations. So nations were colonized, they were the colonizers, and they were colonized. The people, they are colonized. People, they are repressed. People, they are subjugated, and they are giving their voice. Portray the colonizations as a natural, unproblematic and correct process, and it decolonizations. It is an consequence of the colonization and decolonization. Often portrays indigenous peoples and culture sewage are the primitives. So here attempt to describe the indigenous peoples, places and practices to contracts the stereotypical image portrayed by the colonizers. So it is it is a reaction to the colonizers. Whatever colonizer producing literatures in the colonial literatures, post-colonial literature, they are giving their own voice. They say that the voice of the colonizer, they are not true. We have our own voice. So new classicist lasted from about, there is a concept about the classicism, new classicism. Lot of people, lot of students, they are having ambiguity related to classical, new classical age and romantic age. Today I'll be making you this concept clear related to new classical and romanticisms, classicism and romanticism. Let's see. So new classical or new classicism lasted from 1660 to 1670-98. Then the bombastic or grand poet of this is John Milton, Alexander the Great, John Dryden, Jonathan Swift and Daniel Defoe. So these are the grand poets of the new classicism. So they in fact copied the way of the classicist or classical people like the Augustan age, the Roman Greeks age. They were just copying and imitating writing, and they were writing about the selected strata of people like Blinda, like Baron, like Duke, like King. So they were selecting and they were writing. Romantic lasted about 17 from the 1788 to the 1832. So this is the romantic age, and the people writing about the feeling, their thoughts, the idea. They are writing wherever their feeling leading them. They consider poetry is a spontaneous and natural outflow of the powerful feeling. But over here they say that the poetry is not turning loose of emotion, that is based on reason, logic, scientific inquiries like that. So draws inspiration from the classical age. They draw the influence from classical age, draw the inspiration from the medieval and natural object nature legends, and the pastoral lives were the major themes of the romanticisms. Greek and the Roman history, bravery and the restraints and the courage were the major topics and themes. Use calm and rational tones and use the spontaneous, sometimes moody tones. William Wordsworth, John Keats, Lord Byron, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Walter Scott and P.B. Shelley are the most prominent poet of this age. The John Milton, Alexander the Great and Alexander Pope and Daniel Defoe, they were the prominent poet of this age. So here is one more concept. Mostly students, they are confused about the rhyme versus rhythm. Rhyme is the correspondence of the word and syllables. Rhythm is the pattern of the poem marked by stressed and unstressed syllables. There is a difference between kind of rhythms and rhyming. Rhyme is just like a pattern of correspondence of the words like slime, rhyme, prime. So these are the rhyming scheme, and rhyming scheme can be identified with A, B, B like that. And rhythm is a pattern of poem marked by the stress and unstress. Where you put stress, where is accented, and where is it is just identified with U and this signs. So it is the combination of this and this which is called overall rhythms. Stress and unstress, accented and non-accented. Rhyme is mostly concerned with the use of the word and the syllable. Rhythm is concerned with the word, phrase and line. Rhyme can be divided into internal and external. There can be external rhyme and internal rhyme as well, like it pointed out with the A, B like that. So like that we can point it out like that. So then we have prose and poetry. There is a difference between prose and poetry. Let's see what's the difference. Prose does not pay attention to the rhyme and rhythm. Poetry pay attention to the rhyme and rhythm. So over here in poetry we find the metrical language that is embedded in rhythm like that, and here is no need to write in the rhythm or like prose. So writer usually has no word limit. In prose there is no limit. So poetry use a limited number of words. We have to write in a selected language, that is selection of diction, selection of words, selection of thoughts, or all are combined in a way to write. Ideas are written in a sentence and grouped into the paragraphs. Ideas are written in lines and lines are grouped into stanzas. So language is more natural and grammatical. Language is figurative and rhythmical. Here because since we are writing poetry, we are not writing in a prose, so we do not need to write in rhythm, especially in a prose. But here you need to write in rhythmic language as well as in figurative language. You need to use a hyperbole, you need to use a juxtaposition, you need to use a rhyming scheme, you need to write in the symbolisms and metaphor, simile and hyperbole, and then you need to write other stylistic devices, poetical devices can be understood by reading once, and more than one reading is needed to understand, because poetry is selection diction. Prose Prose and spokens are written language in ordinary form without metrical language. Verse is written arranged and metrical rhythms and typically having rhymes. Prose does not pay attention to rhyme and rhythm. Verse pay attention to rhyme. In prose, ideas are written in sentence and sentence are grouped into paragraph. In verse, ideas are written in lines and grouped into stanzas. So here is a blank verse. It's very important topic. I want that you should learn what is the difference between blank verse and free verse. Blank verse does not use a consistent meters, okay, rhymes or any other patterns. A free verse is written in a regular, metrical but unrhymed line. Blank verse is not written in a regular and metrical patterns. Free verse is written in regular and metrical patterns. Free verse is written in regular and metrical patterns. So metrical patterns is should be followed in a free verse. Blank verse does not follow iambic pentameter. So it is not necessary you have to write iambic pentameter. You can write even a trochaic meter, anapaest and like that. So free verse mostly follow the iambic pentameter. So blank verse is mostly used in contemporary poems. Free verse begins to be commonly used after the 16th century. So here is the difference between free verse and blank verse. Blank verse does not follow any rhyming scheme or meters or patterns, but here you have to follow the meter, not following the rhyming scheme in free verse. So hope you got the points, and today we've discussed colonial and post-colonial literature. We've discussed blank verse and free verse. We've discussed about blank verse as well. We have discussed related to various terms related to meters and rhyming scheme, internal rhyme and external rhymes. Everything we've discussed. Dear student friend follower, don't forget to subscribe our channel, the ESL Academy. If you want to contact with us, you can contact to attend our class on Zoom. You have to subscribe our channel. You have to contact our contact number 030563194464. Stay blessed and have a nice time.